We're on the floor today for a 15-minute yoga practice. It is going to focus on relaxing and letting go. I'm here with Kevin, and if you aren't able to get to the floor, find your sturdy yoga chair, and at least the first half of the class you'll be able to follow along in the chair, and then when we get to a posture that we're on our hands and knees, you can just modify by continuing to breathe and stretch, or just watch along and looking forward to that time when you can get to the floor and join us on our yoga mats and do some yoga. So, as we like to start all of our our yoga classes, we're going to start with breathing. Breathing, such an integral part to your yoga practice. Actually, the yoga is all about the breath. So, with the inhale, fill the lungs up completely full. Hesitate at the top of the breath, and then with the exhale, empty the lungs completely until you are breathless at the base of your breath. Hesitate and then repeat the cycle. Visualize the oxygen coming into your body, and remember that we're filling the lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying the lungs from the top to the bottom. Hesitating at the top of the breath and hesitating at the base of the breath, and trying to bring more oxygen into the body with every inhale that you take. Breathing so integral to the postures, continuing to breathe throughout the practice. Whenever you find yourself holding your breath, that's usually an indication that maybe you've gone a little too deep in the posture and you need to back up a little bit and get in control with your breath. So we've just got 15 minutes, so let's get moving. We're going to start with seated cobbler pose this afternoon. So let's bring the legs forward first and shake them out. Get things into a neutral place. Find your sits bones comfortably on the floor. Then bring your knees up so your soles of the feet are on the floor. Inhale, lift the chest up, and with the exhale, gently let the knees fall out. This posture is called Baddha Konasana in Sanskrit, and we know it as seated cobbler. The soles of our feet are together. Sometimes you'll hear it called seated butterfly, as our legs are looking like butterfly wings. The placement of our feet is a control of the intensity in the posture. So if this is too intense on your inner thighs or your hips, just take your feet slightly away from the center line of your body. We want the chest lifted and the back and spine straight. So with the inhale, still filling the lungs up completely full. And then with the exhale, melt into the posture. So as you're melting, we're actually melting our inner thighs and our hips and our legs into the floor, allowing the knees to melt toward the floor with every exhale, using the inhale to bring energy into the body, and then using the exhale to send that energy to the inner thighs and the hips. So every exhale is the opportunity, or the invitation, if you will, to allow your inner thighs and hips to relax a little more and let them melt toward the floor. So as you melt deeper into the posture, the knees will come closer to the floor, and you can see from looking at Kevin and I, we both have different situations going on with our hips. This is true for everyone. No two people are exactly alike with the makeup in their body or the flexibility in their joints. So where you are today is where you are today. Even if your knees are way up like this, really use the exhale. Send the energy to the inner thighs and the hips, and you're just relaxing the inner thighs and the hips. Maybe they'll open a little bit for you as we move through the posture. So let's take one more big inhale, one more big exhale. Now we're going to transition out of our seated cobbler into forward folded cobbler or forward folded butterfly. So bringing the hands on either side of your feet, and then gently start to spider walk your hands forward. As you do this, you want to round your back, and you're letting your forehead melt towards your feet. Now the intensity in this posture is going to rise pretty quickly at this point, so try to breathe through it, still sending the energy to the inner thighs and the hips on the exhale. But if at any time your breath is labored or choppy, or you find that you're holding your breath, just back out of the posture a little bit. Find your breath cycle. Use your hands to support your upper body. You're rounding your back and spine, opening the vertebrae of the back of the spine one at a time, from the top of the spine to the base of the spine, using your breath to move you along. Always following your breath. Big full inhales, big full exhales, and remember relaxing. So you're not so much pulling into the posture, you're melting into the posture, just melting your forehead towards your feet. Every exhale is the opportunity to let go and melt, relax, de-stress. Just let it go. Your upper body is just melting toward the floor with every exhale that you take. Let's take one more big inhale and one more big exhale. And then with the inhale, gently start to walk the hands back toward the body. You're straightening the back and spine one vertebra at a time until your chest is lifted, your spine is straight, shoulders are relaxed and down, and chin is parallel with the floor. Still, with every exhale, you're just letting it go, releasing stress that's built up in the body, stress that tends to manifest itself in our shoulders. So the shoulders are relaxed and down. If you feel like you're real tight and hunched up like this, just let it go. Just feel the shoulders melt. The heart and chest is open. Big full breath cycles. One more big inhale and one more big exhale. Excellent. On the next inhale, bring the knees back up. Soles of the feet are back on the floor, and then let's extend the legs. So shake them out, a little popping in the knees. That sometimes happens. That's good news. That means you're getting into the knees and the joints and the muscles around the leg. So big full inhales, big full exhales. Now continuing our relax and our release and our de-stress with Ragdoll posture. Now in Ragdoll, we're channeling our inner Raggedy Ann or Raggedy Andy. So it's like you're sitting on a table, and we want to just relax the upper part of the body from about midway in the torso up and use the lower part of our spine to support our upper body. So the hands, the palms are on your yoga mat, and they're just relaxed. They're not holding your upper body up. And then with the inhale, do just like Kevin, lift the chest up. And then with the exhale, as Kevin did, let your head fall forward. So as your head falls forward, we're stretching the back of the neck and compressing the front of the neck and also bringing the chin into the throat, which will help to activate the lymphatic system and all the detoxing that goes along with that. And with every inhale, lift the chest up, and with the exhale, melt the upper body. So you're rounding the shoulders and rounding the back of the spine, opening the vertebrae in the back of the spine one at a time from the top to about halfway down. And then when you get to that point, just let every breath be a release as you're using the weight of your head to allow you to melt a little deeper into the posture. Big full inhales, big full exhales. Inhale, filling the lungs up completely full, and then with the exhale, melting into the posture. So one more inhale, one more exhale. And then on the inhale, start to come up out of the posture. So you're stacking the vertebrae of your spine one at a time, using the inhale to find space between the vertebrae, and then using the exhale to stack them just like Lego blocks until your spine is straight, chest is lifted. Once again, the shoulders are relaxed down and back, so you're in a very relaxing posture here. Big full inhales, big full exhales. Excellent. Now let's cross the feet over. We're going to come up to all fours on our hands and our knees to tabletop posture. So remember, tabletop has some very specific positioning of the hands and the feet. We want the wrists directly below the shoulders, and we want the knees directly below the hips. So the hands are shoulder width apart, and the knees are hip width apart. Back is flat, and crown of the head is forward. This is a neutral breathing place. So you're using your inhales and your exhales to fill your lungs up, and then using your exhale to empty the lungs out and release any stress or tension that's going on in the body. So the shoulders are still somewhat relaxed. You're just breathing big and full and deep. One more inhale. And then with the exhale, send the hips back to the heels, going back to child's pose, balasana, one of our foundational postures that we come to a lot in yoga to allow our bodies to relax and let go. When we are in child's pose, we are releasing the tension in the spine. So feel your spine melt and open from the base of your spine through to the middle of the spine and then the upper spine. Still using your breath cycles, inhaling to fill the lungs up and then exhaling to relax. Let it go and just melt into the floor. So with every exhale, just feel your spine let go, release, and open. Beautifully restorative posture, allowing you just to melt into the mat with every exhale. So one more inhale, one more exhale. Then on the next inhale, let's push back up. First, leaving our child's pose and coming back up to tabletop. Find your tabletop posture and then take a couple of big restorative breath cycles here. And now we're going to take a variation on our child's pose. It's called puppy pose. Melting heart, it's also called Anakonasana. So bending the elbows as Kevin did, and then just walking the arms forward so you can melt your heart into the floor. Now, for a lot of people, this posture is not so comfortable. A lot of people love it, and they can just come here and just stay here forever, melting into the floor. So find the place that is comfortable for you. Kevin has his chin on the floor. That's a comfortable place for him to be. It's also opening up the throat and activating all of the muscles in the throat. If this isn't a comfortable place for you to be, bring your head in a little bit and put your forehead on the mat. That's another wonderful position for this posture. There's very little weight on your head. It's back in the middle portion of your body, and your hips are as high or as low as your body needs to be. What you are trying to do is open up your heart and chest and melt your heart and chest into the mat. This melt helps to compress the back of the spine. So it's big, full inhale, big, full exhale, melting the heart and chest into the floor with every exhale that you take. One more inhale, one more exhale. And then on the inhale, let's push back up, coming up to our child's pose. So coming up onto one elbow and then the other, and then one hand and then the other. Palms are underneath the shoulders. If you're feeling any kind of pressure or stress on your wrist, pushing the weight slightly forward and getting the weight out of the wrist and in the fingertips is really important in any of these postures where we're putting weight on our hands and have a deep flexion in the wrist. So press your middle knuckles into the mat. Press your index finger and thumb into the mat. Both of those will help to take the pressure off the wrist and get it into the fingers in the upper part of the hand like we want it to be. So from here, let's cross our feet over, come back to seated again. And then we're going to lie back and go into a posture that's called Happy Baby or Happy Buddha. It's Ananda Balasana in Sanskrit. And it is a really restorative posture and a wonderful release variations on this posture based on your flexibility. So first lie on your back like Kevin is doing, and then lift both your feet up. So you want the soles of the feet parallel with the ceiling. Now from here, if you have limited flexibility, your hands can grab the back of your thighs. So you show that with the back of the thighs. And you can pull down from there. If you have more flexibility, where Kevin was reaching for first is the outside of the feet. And you're pressing the palms on the bottoms of the feet, and with the inhale, you're pulling down. So we're pulling down to compress the hips. As we compress the hips, we are helping to keep the hips fluid and happy and healthy. And the happier our hips are, generally, the happier our body is. So use the inhale to pull down. And then, if you wish, with the exhale, you can push your feet away, but use the restriction in your arms to pull the hands down. That's going to help to engage the arms in this posture as well. Another one of our focuses here is to keep the back and spine flat on the mat, so your shoulders are relaxed down to the mat. So as you inhale and pull down, you're working to bring your shoulders onto the mat. Big full inhales, big full exhales. Very relaxing posture after you get used to it. So we all love our happy baby posture. So one more inhale, one more exhale. Inhale, and then with the exhale, gently let the posture go. So you're gently going to start to bring the soles of the feet down to the mat. And then you can extend both legs. Toes and heels touch. Toes fall open. Arms down by your side. And palms face up. And breathe. This is traditional savasana posture. We like to come to this place at the end of every floor class to allow ourselves the opportunity to breathe and continue to relax. So find your savasana position. Start your breath cycles, big full inhales, big full exhales, using the inhale to fill the lungs up and using the exhale to empty the lungs out completely. Hesitating at the top of the breath and hesitating at the base of the breath. This savasana is always the most important moment in your yoga class. It's the opportunity for your body to absorb the changes that you've awakened in your body with your yoga practice. And it's also a continued time for you to be able to relax and just let it go and release. So big full inhales, big full exhales. You stay in your savasana as long as you like. Your body will tell you when it's time to leave savasana. But we'll go ahead and sign off for right now. Wonderful having you with us this afternoon. Enjoy your yoga. Enjoy your breath. And until we are on our yoga mats again, have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.